So the Cavs finished fourth in the East last year. Had a disappointing playoff series against Knicks. Didn't play very well. What's realistic for this team to be expected of this year? What should we expect from the Cavs in the East this year?
Well, realistically, the expectation would be you take the next step and you get out of the first round. You get at least to the Eastern Conference semifinals. That's what you need to set as your goal. You always want to take that next step. Um, but Dave, last year we saw the Miami Heat go from just about elimination in the play-in tournament all the way to the NBA Finals. So I think that that's a possibility for the Cavs. I don't think that there are four teams better than them in the Eastern Conference this year. Last year, even though they finished fourth in the East, I probably would have put the Knicks ahead of them at the end of the season, and we saw that in the first round of the playoffs. I think the Cavs were fifth or sixth best team in the Eastern Conference this year. I think they're in the top four. I really do. With the additions that they've made, they'll have another year, a full year with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Everybody's expecting Evan Mobley to take that next step. Realistic expectation is you take that next step by winning a first round playoff series and getting to the second round. And then if you lose in the second round, well, at least you took the next step. But I think realistically, this team, despite the additions that were made by the Celtics and the Bucks, I think realistically this team could be looking at the Eastern Conference Finals if it all comes together. Because on paper they've got a lot of depth, they've got now some experience, and again everybody's expecting Mobley to take that next step. So that would give you three stars in Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Evan Mobley. So I think the sky's the limit, frankly.
Is that kind of and I don't want to say the key, that's kind of overused, but if Evan Mobley is able to ascend and become that, third big-time player, does that put them kind of right there with the elite?
Absolutely, because Darius Garland has to stay the same or improve a little bit for that to happen, for them to be, with the Celtics and the Bucks neck and neck. And I think that's possible. You already know what Mitchell's going to give you, which is obviously a ton of scoring, creating opportunities, keeping you in games, and so that leaves Mobley. Mobley had a nice year last year, but he really kind of needs to be, yes, that third. I don't want to say all-star, but a guy who's at least under consideration for the all-star game, an all-star team. So in order for the Cavs to really surpass the expectations that I said they could potentially do, yes, Evan Mobley has to have, I don't want to call it a breakout year, but he has to have a big year, probably bigger than last year. And then the rest of the guys, Strus and Yang and Karis LeVert, and I'm sure I'm forgetting others, Okoro, Dean Wade, and Jared Allen. Those guys all have to have at least good years. And if they can do that, if the Cavs can do that with Mobley's development, yeah, they can go. They can really go places that people don't even expect them to at this point.